This is Tom. He's a family doctor. Too informal? Imagine him with a stethoscope. Better? Part of Tom's work throughout the day is filling out forms. This is how his patients get access to services they need. There's a form for blood tests, x-rays, transfusions, atrial fibrillation clinic, diabetes clinic, cancer clinic, pain clinic, mental health, home services special authority. You get the idea. Tom once counted 87 forms he's keeping track of. Managing all these forms and filling them out each day directs Tom's energy away from patient management and towards form management. Let me explain why. Forms arrive in Tom's office as pads of paper. Tom precisely recreates the paper forms electronically so that his and the patient's information gets put on the form automatically by his electronic medical record, or EMR. However, EMRs don't manage these electronic paper files smoothly, and paper forms aren't laid out to be filled in by a computer, so there's lots of clicking and typing when using electronic paper forms in an EMR that just can't be avoided. For the forms Tom uses frequently, things aren't too bad, but for the other 80 forms he doesn't use that often, a couple times a day his patients need to wait while he finds and fills out a rare form, and still occasionally the form gets sent back, not filled in correctly. Although you'd expect the forms process to get better over time, this is prevented by forms and EMRs constantly changing. There are new forms to input and learn every couple months, and EMRs get upgraded once a year, sometimes causing the forms to stop working. The unfortunate thing is this inefficient form system is replicated in every family doctor's office. Too many forms always comes up in the top 3 things GPs find frustrating about their work. Although the approximately 5 seconds lost in each patient encounter due to inefficient forms doesn't seem like much, repeating this 20 times a day for a month is equivalent to the GP seeing 4 more patients, or, for the 800 GPs on Vancouver Island, 3,000 more patient visits per month. Making forms more efficient could even be equated to 5,000 patients added to GPs' rosters. So let's recap. 1. There are too many forms, so there are delays finding and completing them. 2. The electronic paper forms save some mundane data entry, but in order to replicate the paper layout, they're slow to use. 3. The forms and EMRs keep changing, so the system is stuck in a treadmill of inefficiency. 4. If we improve the form system, doctors would be less frustrated and could take on more patients. In short, the current form system impairs primary care. But there's a better way. Forms can be built that integrate into the EMR so that they auto-populate based on diagnostic code or treatment plan chosen by the family doctor. They can self-adjust to the patient's age and lab values and make suggestions or give warnings. Really, forms can be practically invisible. But before we get to that sophistication, let's pare down the number of forms by creating a single form that replaces a bunch of similar forms. The result would be a single form for all allied health services, and another for all health authority clinics, and another for all diagnostic tests. Each single form would be health authority-wide and change controlled by a working group. All the EMR vendors would agree on a standard electronic character of the form so that it works with all EMRs, and any changes to the form update the physician's offices automatically. The forms would still be printed and faxed while we're building a secure communication to all service providers. It's just that they'll look different. In fact, we're proposing the whole system look different. A realignment of incentives and abilities. The family doctors, who want an efficient form system, should lead this design, replacing the current form publishers who lack incentive and ability to achieve system improvements. The form publishers, who want their office to be efficient, then identify what information should be included on the forms. The EMR vendors, who want an efficient software, then replace the family doctors in creating electronic forms, resulting in an EMR that works more seamlessly. But this is a lot of change for a complex, inertia-bound system. What on earth will empower it? For instance, the form publishers don't want to change. You're right, they don't. But they do want an efficient health system and faster, more accurate referrals for their services. Think about the reduction in incomplete form bounce-backs we're enabling with this change. Additionally, since the service providers are in the same community as the family doctors, through accepting change, they can have better primary care for themselves and their families. And the EMR vendors? Why should they help? They make money with the current system. It turns out they're tired of complaints about forms not working in their EMR, and they recognize that integrating smart forms into their products is the next killer app and competitive advantage they need. But the real shift in this system is that 95% of family doctors are now on EMRs. Forms don't need to serve 2 groups of users, the writers and the typers. We're all typers. And these family doctor EMR users now have ways of becoming organized and resourced, resulting in a collective will we've not seen before. In short, many new forces are now available to make health system level changes that we all know are needed. So if you would like to help bring new efficiency to primary care and get Tom spending more time with patients and less time on forms, show your support by contacting your health authority information officer and your division office and let them know it's time to spend less time on forms.